and welcome to my channel On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And today let's talk about what's been on the hook. Well, I'm wearing what's been on the hook. This is the Agnes Sweater done in a number 4 worsted weight yarn. So I'll be talking about that in just a couple of minutes. For now, I'm going to wish you the last National Crochet Month wish. Now, I meant to do that on my last video, but I hope for National Crochet Month, which was March of this year, that you made something beautiful in crochet. I hope that you did, or made a plan to make something beautiful in crochet. I was doing my part, so I hope you were out there trying to find something that you might like to crochet. Now, today is a mix of different things. This is a late week video. This is on Friday, and on Fridays I don't do giveaways or anything like that, but I do like to talk about the projects that I'm working on. Now, I have several things that I want to show you today, so let's start with what I'm wearing. Crystal and I are both wearing the Agnes Sweater, and this is what it looks like on my Etsy shop. This is the Agnes Sweater. A lot of you purchased this pattern last week, and thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And because I had so much interest in the Agnes Sweater, which here is done in fingering weight, I'm wearing the one done in a number 4 worsted weight called Landscapes Fusion by Lion Brand. And here's the tag that's on the yarn. They do have it out on Lion Brand. That's where I bought this. And I used about 600 yards of worsted to make this top. Now, a lot of it went into the ribs. The ribs are a little bit of a yarn eater. And I wanted to put the ribs on this particular sweater, but they're not like these ribs here. These are triple ribs because you can do that with fingering, and it's quite subtle and really pretty. I like it. I like the way it looks, the 3 ribs and then no rib, 3 ribs, no rib. And it gives the sweater a really beautiful look. Now, this sweater is done with single ribs, and there's a single rib. See if you can see that. Single rib, no rib, single rib, no rib. And it's a pretty large ribbed area. I think it's 4, maybe this is probably 3 rows, and then finished up with a row of single crochet in which I did some decreases, some, maybe here and here, maybe here, and one at the mid back, just to draw in that rib just a little bit, because ribs can tend to be stretchy because that's what they're designed to be. So that's what I did with this. I made it with a J hook, just so you're wondering. I made the worsted with the J hook and used a smaller hook for the fingering weight. This is what the yarn looks like. I just had this little bit left out of, I think it was the 5th skein that I used, and so that would put me at right around 500 yards. I would buy, if I were you, I would buy at least 600 or 700 yards. These come in 109 yard lengths, so it's easy to buy pretty much exactly what you need to make this particular sweater. So I'm going to take my jacket off and show you what it looks like. It's a sleeveless sweater just like this one. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so here I am modeling the new Agnes Sweater. This is made with Landscapes Fusion yarn, and really love this yarn. It's soft. It's really soft against your skin. It crochets up very quickly because it's a large 4. It's a solid 4 yarn. So you don't have to accommodate for a smaller worsted weight. This is a standard worsted weight yarn, and I like it very much. It's so, like I said, it is very, very soft to the skin. Now it crochets up really pretty too. I love the way that the colors mix in here. They're really beautiful the way they mix, and they're not stripy at all. I don't like stripy too much. I can deal with it, but this is not a stripy yarn at all. This is a beautiful yarn with all different colors in it. Every color, jewel tone that you can imagine is in this yarn. And when I crocheted it, I was really excited because it's going to go with so many things. I'm just wearing this with some jeans today and under a jeans jacket because it's a little bit cool. But this is a sleeveless top, and what I did with the sleeveless top is I decreased along here just like I did for the regular Agnes sweater made with fingering, but I cut the number of decreases in half. So if you have that pattern, you know that when you go to decrease for the armhole, you do it half the number of decreases that we did on that particular fingering weight Agnes sweater number 1. So if you remember that, you can get the armhole to be just right. And then around the neck, it was the basic same number of decreases, I believe. And then the rib, instead of doing a triple rib, you do a single rib. And then I did the same thing at the bottom of the sweater, just like I did on the original Agnes sweater. I used a single rib on this one, a triple rib on that one. So what you will notice is that I only used about maybe 4 inches of ease in this. That's a stretch. It's almost to fit me because this is a stretchy fabric that you make, and the yarn itself is very stretchy as well. So you don't want to make it too big, and there's no drape to this fabric. There's no drape at all. So I'm glad I made it that closer to the body than I would have, maybe even with a fingering. I might have put more ease in that because there's more drape when you use fingering yarn than when you use a worsted weight yarn. So again, I only used 4 inches of ease in this, and I'll show you the back. The back is probably about 3.5 or 4 inches below the waist, and that's enough for me. Now I made it up here. I started here because right here is where the sweater ends, and then the ribs, I used probably 4 or 5 rows of rib, and they used up a whole skein of yarn, but that's 100 yards. But I did use 4 or 5 rows here, and I only used maybe 3 up here. I think it was 3 rows here, and you can use, of course, any number of rows that you want. But I used a single crochet around the edge of both ribs so that they wouldn't stretch out, and that's how I made the Agnes sweater number 2. Moving right along, I had lunch with a friend this week, and she is a local hand dyer. She is a friend of mine, an extremely talented knitter, and I've known her for many years, and she is a hand dyer of yarn, not full-time, but she does it all the time now that she has a shop in one of our mercantile conglomerates here, as you could call it. It's many shops in one place, and her shop or her booth is probably 6 feet wide and it's tall as the ceiling. And she said, what would you like me to dye for you? A yarn, I have some DK. And I thought, oh, DK, yay. So I asked her to dye some pink yarn, and it ended up being pink and coral, which I really love. And I'm going to show this to you. It was made and dyed with Knit Picks yarn, Swish DK, but it is Becky's color. Becky is her name, and I'll get that right up there. And you'll see that there's coral in here as well as pink, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And what I notice is that some of it, there's a little bit of purple in here, and I'll show you that. This is what I've done so far. I'm making a top-down, beautiful DK sweater with some decor in it. It's got a little bit of decor in it. But here it is right here. Let me show you what it looks like made up. And this is what it looks like made up. And it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm loving the way this is coming out. So let me show you this. I'll hold it up like it's going to be. This is the back here, and it will be like this. It's quite gorgeous. I'm going to make this short sleeves because I believe I have enough yarn. I have 4 skeins like this, and my first skein I've only used right at about a half of that skein, so or that hank. That's what I've used so far. So I don't think I'm going to have a problem with the 4 hanks. I think that'll be a perfect number for a short sleeve, beautiful top. Now that is 100% superwashed merino wool, and honestly, it is as soft as it could possibly be. I really love this yarn, and Becky did such a gorgeous job adding color to it. Of course, it comes white, and then the hand dyer adds color, and it is so beautiful. I wanted a pink top, and that's what I'm going to get with this. I'm making it with a size 7 clover hook, which is 4.5 millimeter. It's about this big. It's not extremely big. it's a little bit bigger than a G, and some people call this a G plus hook. I think I've mentioned that before. And a G plus hook is just a tiny bit bigger than a G, but not as big as an H. So that's what I'm using to crochet this DK weight Superwashed Merino wool, and really excited how it's turning out. I had several people ask me about the coffee shop yarn. This is the coffee shop yarn that I bought. It's a number 3 light coffee shop yarn from Premier, and this is the colorway Steel. And now that it's loosened up a little bit, you can see the colors better. It's really, really pretty. It's kind of a light gray all the way to a charcoal gray. There's no other colors in this yarn. Now, it is wool and acrylic, and I'll tell you how much is which. It's made in Turkey. They're on each cake are 284 yards. So it's a substantial amount of yarn on each cake, and well worth the price. I remember, I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I wasn't shocked at the price. So it's a good price. It's also 85 acrylic, 15 wool. So it's got a little bit of wool in it, but not too much. It's very, very, very soft. And let's see if that's premium acrylic. Now it just says acrylic. Now this is what it looks like made up. I'm just making a regular sweater from this. I don't think there's anything special about it, but I wanted to see how it crocheted up. Now it does have a little bit of striping. I'm just going to roll that across the camera so you can see what it looks like. This is an extended single crochet and done with a J hook, my favorite, and extended double crochet. And you can't see through it, which is going to be very, very nice. I'm making it a little bit big. I probably have maybe 2, 4, 6, maybe 8 inches of ease in this, but it's going to be pretty when I finish it. I'll either make it short sleeve or sleeveless, maybe a cap sleeve, I'm not sure. I have 3 hanks, so I have nearly 1,000 yards. I think I'll be fine. It's a number 3, but it's kind of a big number 3. It's not a tiny little fingering weight, so it'll go quite far, and I have 3 cakes of it, so I think I'll be okay. And I'll show you the progress on that as I move through this particular project. Since this is a late week video, I'm just going to announce that I have some turquoise bags in my shop, some project bags, and you can go to my Etsy shop and take a look. I'll put a link down in the description box. I have 3 bags left, and I wanted to go ahead and announce that so that anyone who watches my show and might want to purchase a project bag that is quite large, and I'll show it to you right now. This is the turquoise project bag. It has my logo on the front. It's embroidered on there with beautiful colored thread. I really like the colors that I picked to go on this particular logo. I really like it. It's subtle, but it's not too loud, but you can read it very easily. And it says On the Hook Crochet, Wearable Crochet Style, all embroidered on here. I just think that is so cool. I really like that. It has black braided handles. It's made from backpack material. There's one large pocket on the outside, and there's another large pocket on the other side, but there's no pocket on the inside. So you have to remember that if you want to purchase one. It also closes up with a zipper, and it makes your project safe in there. It's waterproof fabric. So I wanted to show this to you. I have 3 of these left in the shop. If you want one, I don't have any more. I only have the 3. So I wanted to tell you all about that on this video today. Now, another thing I wanted to do was make a couple of announcements. I am working on a people's pullover for the Ukrainian children who have been displaced by the war, and the sweater is at a standstill because I've run out of yarn. I changed my design just a little bit, and so I'm making the sweater more of one color than another. So I've ordered some more. It hasn't arrived yet, but I'm hoping that it'll arrive this weekend and I can put in some work on that. I'm almost done with it. I'm finished with the front. I haven't worked on the back as much as I wanted to because I ran out of yarn. So I'm working on that. It's called the People's Pullover, and it'll be a shout out to the Ukrainian children who have had such a hard time, and that's what I'm focusing on with this pattern. And you can help me if you want to purchase a pattern. Part of the revenue will go toward that charity. So I hope you'll participate, and I hope you'll enjoy the sweater pattern. I think it has some really nice design elements in it, and you can make it in any colors that you want. It doesn't have to be the blue and yellow, but if you want to give a shout out to Ukraine, you can always make it in those Ukrainian flag colors. On Monday, I'd also like to show you the Felicity sweater. I'll be finished with it by then. I just have a little bit of seaming to do up the sides and maybe finish the edges, and I'll be all done. And hopefully I can get that out and be able to wear that on Monday. The pattern will be forthcoming. I don't know when, pretty soon. And I'll get that out if you want to make a special Felicity sweater. That is the sweater with the large ribbed bodice. It's really beautiful. I love the way it turned out. I made it with fingering yarn, so if you're so inclined, you might want to pick up DK or fingering yarn, at least 1,200 yards, maybe more, depending on how long you want to make the sweater, how wide you make the sweater, and how much ease, obviously, how much ease you put in the sweater. That way you can be ready for the pattern when it comes out. It's quite lovely. It's not difficult to make. I make it very easy. I've taken photographs so you'll know how to do the ribs. They are not difficult. You can do them, once you do one row, you're going, oh, I can do this, not a problem. So I wanted to let you know I'll probably be wearing that on Monday in Monday's video. Now Monday's video will have the giveaways from last Monday's video. I just wanted you to know that, not last Monday, but the Monday before actually, because last Monday's was recorded at a different time and I didn't want to select giveaways if y'all hadn't had time to sign up. So at the end of this video, I will place a picture of that video up in the corner, and you can click that. If you haven't watched it and left a comment, please do. Use the keyword that's in the video and you can be in line for the giveaways that will be given away this coming Monday. So be sure you do that if you haven't already done that. We have some really neat gifts to give away. I might even add one onto it. I've got an idea for another one that I want to add to it, so I think I might do that as well. So you only need one keyword and then you'll be in the running for any one of those gifts, so be sure to do that. Also, I want to show you something very, very special, so take a walk with me. Here we are taking a quick walk to show you my finally finished object. There she is, the Virgin of the Lilies. And she is rather large, as you know. If you've been watching my show for any length of time, you'll know that this diamond painting right here is 3 by 4 feet. And I have had her framed now. So let's get over a little bit closer. We've got some light coming in the window, which is kind of nice. And here she is. Now, they both look better from a distance. If I'm going to step back, and you can see when you get back a certain way, all those colors blend into each other and give her a very nice look, and of course baby Jesus as well. Give them both a nice look, a bright look from a distance. So right now she's on an easel, as you can see. This is my painting easel right here, and I use this to do, paintings I haven't done for a while. So I had this easel up with my paint by number elephants that you've been looking at for a couple of months that I haven't quite finished, but I took those off and I thought I would place her here in my dining room. See, there's my dining room, and just to look at her for a little bit, kind of decide where we want to hang her. And we have come to the conclusion that she probably needs to go up here, and I'm going to swing the camera around and show you. There's my front door. And there's Mr. On the Hook's office right there. There's another diamond painting right there that I hung up to, I think it was one of the very first ones I ever did. And then why were we going to hang Virgin of the Lilies right up there over Mr. On the Hook's office? And she'll get lots of light in from the window at the right and from the front door, of course, but she'll get lots of light. And then we have a hall light that we can turn on there as well. So that's where she's going to go, right there over Mr. On the Hook's office. And we may do something with her later. We're not really sure, but for right now, I think that's what we're going to do. So we placed her on the easel so that we could kind of take a look at her close up, and then when we hang her on the wall, we will probably not be able to see all the details. So we have her right here so that we can see her when we walk by. And I really love this painting. I've always loved it. There's another painting also that William Bogereau has done, and that's who did, of course, this version of the lilies. But I'm going to swing around here, and I have a print of another painting that he did of Mary and Jesus with Mary holding the lamb right there. I just think it's so poignant and beautiful. And I like the frame on this one as well. This is what I had in mind for Virgin of the Lilies, but it would have made her so large that we would struggle to get it on the wall. So we put a little bit smaller frame on her. But this is the first one that I've ever bought by William Bogreau, and I really love the detail. Look at the lamb's foot hanging down here. I think that is just so typical, you know, all the feet. But it's a very beautiful, beautiful painting, just like the one I just did. So I just want to take you on a little tour of where we're going to hang the Virgin of the Lilies. And she is my finally finished object, my FFO, and on to my next diamond painting. As you know, my next diamond painting is the Nativity, and there it is. I have it, of course, sideways. If you've been watching my show for any length of time, you'll know that I'm working on it this way, and the top is over to my left, and I'm working on it sideways basically so that it will fit on my easel. And there's the easel right there. See, I can fit it on my easel that way. And I also have a light pad behind it. And I neglected to show this to you the other day, but when we talk about a diamond painting, it's really important to have good light. So I'm going to turn on the light pad, and you can see what a difference it makes. Look at that. So you can see all of the symbols very clearly. With the light pad behind it, you can see the symbols very, very clearly. So that's what I like using. I like my light pad. It lights up that one piece of the diamond painting so that I can work on it. And I'm working on it in lines across here. So every 3 inches, I roll the top up, and I use the cover monitor, which is right there. I use that, and that holds the clear plastic above where I'm working. So right now I'm working on this part right here, and then I'll move it up another 3 inches and another 3, and the halfway point is right here. So I'm almost halfway. I'll be halfway pretty soon. So I just wanted you to see that, the progress that I've made on my Nativity diamond painting. Let me get it over here. See the whole thing. And one other thing I noticed, it has a rooster down here at the bottom. I never even noticed that until the other day. I was looking at it, I thought, is that a bird down there? Yes, it's a rooster. So I just wanted to point that out to you. So anyway, there's the progress I've made on my diamond painting. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. Now, to give you some perspective on how large this painting is, it's on the floor of the store, and I have a picture of Sarah, who did the framing work for this beautiful painting, and she did a very, very nice job. All the corners are reinforced, the back is covered with paper, there's a wire hanger. It's very beautifully done. She does all of my diamond paintings. She frames every one, so I'm excited when I see Sarah when I go in the store and she's there, and she understands diamond painting. So thank you, Sarah, very much for that. A beautiful job. Now, a picture of me next to the painting, and it's up on the easel now at this point. So she is about as tall as me. I just wanted you to see that. I just thought that was pretty interesting. I hope you enjoyed that little peek at my diamond painting. It's a beautiful craft. I've just picked it up. And if you're interested in one, I have a link in the description box down below. And you can click on that if you want to try a diamond painting. It's DiamondArtClub is where my next painting comes from, and that is the Nativity that I showed you in the video. So if you're interested in one, there's a link down there where you can get a discount off your very first diamond painting if you're so inclined. So I just wanted to leave that little note with you. Also, be sure to sign up for the community. You will receive special offer codes for all kinds of products in that community. So if you have your email address in there, you can get an email every now and then and find out what's going on, some special things that I don't always talk about. So please be sure to sign up for the community down in the description box. Also subscribe if you haven't already done that. I love to have new subscribers. We've had quite a few lately, and I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So if you want to learn about diamond painting, if you want to get a look at some beautiful wearable crochet, that's what I offer on this video. I also have an Etsy shop with lots and lots of patterns that are easy to make, and they're written in a different style than what you usually see. They're written in an easy to read style with very few abbreviations, and I try to tell you how to do things more than one way so that you're not confused. You don't have to wonder what I'm talking about, and you can be a success with your very first wearable crochet. So be sure to check out my Etsy shop as well. The link is in the description. Before you click away, please like this video. That helps me very, very much. I appreciate everyone who likes my videos and leaves a comment. I do appreciate each and every one of you. I've been trying to read every single comment, and every now and then I'll reply with something that I just have to say. So every now and then I'll do that. But if I heart your comment, then you'll know that I've read the whole thing, and I appreciate it from the first word to the very, very last. So there again, please like this video before you click out, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'm planning to have one myself, and then I will be back on Monday. So join me then to find out what's on the hook.